1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, wha! Greetings, everyone. I'm Tom.
I'm Galen.
And welcome to another 15 minutes of background noise, dog slobber, hair growing out to awkward lengths, and, oh yes, FUME!
And apparently like people sneezing or something.
I don't know, there's just going to be noise.
Jerks.
No, I mean, people exist and they make noise as a product of their existence. They're not doing it to foil us personally.
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. They can be noisy. We can be smelly. Everyone's doing something that somebody else doesn't like. Speaking of, we only are smelling 5 perfumes today.
Sorry.
We are dipping into the Lupercalia scents just with the general catalog Luper scents, and we have 5 of them here, and we figured, like, let's just get it rolling. Like, we want to get through these collections as fast as possible. We don't have more than 5 of the Luper GCs here today. That is a situation we will remedy. But for now, let's just cover some of the basics, shall we? And if this ends up being a shorter than usual installment of our fine program, then, boy, I just can't think of anyone in the world who will have a major problem with that. How about you?
No.
You love being off camera.
Yeah.
So let us just begin at the very beginning. Oh my gosh, somebody applauded when I said that.
That's so nice.
Someone managed to do that from the internet? That is so kind of you. Thank you. It's like somebody pushed the like button, the thumbs up button on the YouTube video, and then there was applause here. We need to make sure that generally can't happen.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Very
Day or night. Anyway, Lupercalia is a Roman festival holiday that we celebrate every February instead of the other day. And it allows us to explore subjects of like eroticism and romance and madness, a specialty, house specialty. Especially when you swirl it all together and you have, romantic erotic madness, which, we've all experienced, and frankly it, sounds more fun than it really is, but that's what art and fantasy and illusion are for. And these perfume collections reflect the erotic, romantic madness that is Lupercalia season. Did I recap that appropriately? Is that
think
okay?
so.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
we're going to start with the real reason for the season, which is the LUPERCI perfume. I don't even know if you can see the bottle, but the label will appear on the screen via the magic of Galen's editing wizardry.
They can at least see that you are holding a bottle.
Clearly, I'm holding a perfume, and I will smell what is in this bottle, and we're all just gonna... I feel like we've built up enough trust and consensual reality at this point where you just know that I'm really smelling. Wouldn't it be an amazing scandal if this entire time our bottles were just
empty
and full
and
of water?
Like, oh,
ooh,
wow, it smells so
marketing.
lemony. Snick it.
Okay, so the LUPERCI perfume has a much more eloquent intro about the whole festive occasion. It says, this is the scent for LUPERCI, the chosen of Faunus, the brothers of the wolf, raw, down and dirty patchouli, gurgum balsam, and essence of Samson root, sweetened with the heightened sexuality of beeswax. I've always thought that beeswax had a heightened sensuality. Don't you agree, Disco? Virile juniper, you know what I'm talking about. Ambrette seed over honey and East African musk. We got a snuffly dog here who went, here,
He keeps booping me. He has a very insistent little nose boop.
Come on up.
To us, and it's honestly just adorable.
It's because we're talking about wolves.
But sometimes we're like, wait, what does that mean? Do you have to go outside? Are you hungry? Are you bored?
You just went outside, and you're not allowed to be bored because we're dazzling. So,
he's yawning.
Here you go. So I've always been a little, to be honest, this sounds like, in concept, I love this scent, but the musk and the beeswax and everything, it's not a lot of things that I necessarily really love. However, this year I was determined to go into it with kind of fresh eyes, sniffers, nostrils, and see. And I have to. I know each year it's probably a little different, right? Too, the blend slightly changes. So I have to say I've been experimenting with LUPERCI and really digging it. Digging it like an overexcited Pomeranian who smells something just 3 inches below the earth. Is it a,
Is it a bee?
Is it a squirrel? Is it a poop? No, it's LUPERCI. I mean, patchouli like whoa, okay? And that's not my problem with this. I love patchouli. I love to be a little uncomfortable in a patchouli way when I'm smelling myself or others. I want more already. And I have to say the juniper aspect is something I'm really interested in. I like juniper as a scent note. In the bottle, really, it's like gangbusters patchouli. With a bit of like the beeswax and musk. Beeswax.
I don't know. I don't mean this in a negative way. It almost smells a little medicinal.
Yes.
Like it's just like that herbal.
It's like it's a combination of intense patchouli plus juniper. I think that really takes it. It's like an intense.
I do think it's the juniper that's given me that.
Yeah. But, and here's the but. Here's the big but. On the skin as this mellows out, okay, you got the beeswax funkiness kind of rising up. The juniper kind of steps back. It knows that it is not, the star of this production. And then that ambrette seed starts to hop out. You got a bit of the honey. Also, I think that... what do you want?
You want up?
If he has decided it's playtime, then it's a good thing we only had 5 cents. Let's just say that.
Maybe he just wants to be on the... Oh, he's smiling? Okay. As you were saying.
It just kind of like warms up and it gets like more action happening. Like there's just kind of like... It really, in a sense, to my brain, contributes to a sort of a festival idea because there's all of these different things kind of happening and taking turns at once, So, are you losing it because of the dog? This is our reality now.
I put him on my lap and then he's just suddenly so happy. I'm like, oh my god, you dork.
Maybe that's
I
all
just want to be on
needed.
camera.
Yeah.
Hi. Under the shiny lights. You love it. You're a star.
You're a star. Disco the Star Dog.
Yeah.
15 minutes of Galen pretending to be focused on perfume.
Oh.
Anyway, this the balsam also it reaches like an easygoing, fun place. So I think it's like walking up on a festival that you didn't know was happening, and it's like a little intense, and then as you get in there, you find your stride. And I did feel there was a thread in the Be Pal Parlor Facebook group recently about scents that are like a little off-putting to you initially that you put on because you know what the rest of the ride is like. I think this is one of those for me because within a few minutes even, after I get past my initial reservations, I have, it's just kind of like a warm, woody, sexy spiral that I get caught up in. And then who knows what can happen. You just smell it on me.
It's definitely exclusive party in the middle of the woods.
Yes.
Late at night.
Randy. Everyone is very randy at this party.
Randy party. I do want to smell it on you. Where is it?
It's right around in there. I'm definitely disco. I'm definitely the. I really like that juniper. For me personally, that's just like a really nice kind of grace note to take it out, outdoors.
Mm-hmm. It's like the candle wax.
Yeah.
The beeswax. Is like popping out more on me. It almost was a little powdery on me compared to you.
This is the Renaissance Festival. Fireside drum jamboree after hours party that I was never really invited to as like a 15-year-old who was only there by day to sell sausage on a stick, and you knew that there were like exciting shenanigans happening after everything closed, but I didn't really have a ride, so, but that's the fantasy anyway. Madness.
It's carpets, it's madness.
It's carpets, it's madness. So that's like your second ABPAB reference in one video.
Wait, really? What was my other one?
Is it a bee?
Oh, yes.
So
I'm in it.
We're having an absolutely fabulous time smelling these scents. And then now we're moving on to another stalwart Lupercalia classic, Womb Fury. There's a whole story included in there with historical annotations about perceptions of the female body and women's psyches and the kind of madness that can only be alleviated by a cathartic jolt that, you know, some people probably enjoyed more than others. Let's see. I like this quote in there, but the womb is like an animal within an animal. Men, am I right? Okay. So it says an itch that needs to be scratched, snake oil, and 3 types of honey. So for those, you know, who are new to this planet, welcome. And snake oil is the Bee Pal kind of house signature blend, which is the regular version has been woefully out of stock for a while due to a component issue. I now say thrice daily to someone. People want to get their hands on it, and so do we. Anyway, that's like a sugary, musky incense with vanilla, and we have a snake oil and 3 types of honey. So really juiced up on, you know, the bee syrup.
Bee syrup.
So this is not, by the way, recommended as like a remedy for if you imagine that your uterus is just wandering around to different places in your body. It's
wandering uterus.
I'm not a doctor and I cannot advise what to do if you feel that way. But you know, the perfume is not probably going to do that much. Ooh. Okay. This just takes me back. I mean, formative Bee Pal memories, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Snake oil, Lupercalia, got that honey note. Airplane flying overhead.
Oh, you can smell the airplane.
Disco might be able to.
Okay, I definitely got some on my nose.
Yeah.
It's my bad.
Okay. I mean, it is a really robust honey scent. I like that it specifies 3 different honeys because I can't really track it to like any particular version of the Bee Pal honey note that we're using.
Yeah.
And
Which is fun.
The snake oil in this context really, I mean, it does just kind of impart this like sinuous, musky, dark base. Regular snake oil has a kind of a wonderful, dark, rooty base, and this might have like a bunch of layers of honey piled up over it, but you're eventually going on that same spiral. It's really nice.
Yeah, I can definitely smell the snake oil in here.
The honey is just kind of this like, you know, breathy, you know, shuddering hyperventilation happening over the top of this deep, dark experience.
I remember having a womb fury moment a few years ago where I was just like,
it sounds
personal. This is for me, and then I wore it a lot.
I don't remember that.
Because it was a long time ago. I think it was like
many years ago.
Many years ago when I was young and of shorter hair.
Of shorter hair. Here it is. I'm like, where's your peanut butter chewy? Have your peanut butter chewy.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like the 3 different honeys really do kind of give it this sort of. I know that it's honey, but it doesn't have that like particular honey smell that I'm used to with the honey notes in some of our perfumes.
Robert Altman's 3 honeys.
There really is just like that dark musk underneath. It's fascinating.
It's so hard to explain a scent like this to somebody who hasn't already smelled it before. Because for a lot of you, this is like, yes, Womb Fury. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I have a bottle. I buy a bottle every year. Whatever. If I was explaining it to a new person, it's just like, I guess, you know, we've kind of covered those bases, really. Like, so I guess I don't need to belabor the point, but it's just very nice. It's 15 minutes of just watching us smell Womb Fury.
And not talking about it too much.
No.
Really just
You'll know where to like draw to a close.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to another established Lupercalia B-Pal classic, which is Smut. Three smutty musks. It's like a theater warm-up. 3 smutty musks, sweetened with sugar and woozy with dark booze notes.
Okay, now say it again.
It's funny
No.
because if you layer this with the womb fury, it's 3 honeys, then you got your 3 musks, and that's a 6-way.
And you're like, whoa,
Just add sugar and booze.
What a stretch first.
Just from the description, it's so funny because I'm getting like burlesque show flashbacks from the concept alone. So I'm not like the muskiest muskrat in the zoo. I like it, and I like it when I can sense its presence, you know, mingling. A huge musk-heavy scent, I don't know. For me, in the bottle, my untrained nose is really just like I get this kind of like it is like animalic to me.
Yeah.
And then there is like a bit of a sugary booze, but the musk is just like really holding it. It's like bottle o' musk.
But like sweet musk. I don't know. It's just.
Sometimes with musks too, it's like I'm not always sure what I'm smelling because there's kind of so many different ways of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those notes that other people can detect really readily, and I know that because I used to wear Black Forest a lot, which I didn't think of as being. It has black musk in it, but I didn't think of it as being super musky. And then a friend who complimented me on the perfume told me that it smelled very musky, and I was like, could you please elaborate? Because I don't really know what you're talking about. And I think it's one of those notes that genetically not everyone can really smell the same way, so you might be experiencing some musk blindness. Consult your doctor. It's amazing how gentle this is.
Yeah, I mean, despite the 3 smutty musks sounding like a little bit like,
Rowdy.
Sorry, rowdy. I'm like trying to think of words. Yeah, you're just like, oh boy, intimidating. That's the word. I'm like, how do I?
With the booze and everything,
yeah, but
it sounds like it's going to be a wild party, but like really on the skin, it's like, oh, there are not as many people at this party as I thought, and none of them are clothed.
It's actually very sweet, and you're like, oh.
There's like a real kind of like smooth gentleness to it,
Mm-hmm.
and the booze doesn't have that like that real like alcohol tinge that makes it, makes.
Hello. Yeah, no. It's also like the booze notes aren't distinct, so it's not like this smells rummy. This smells like whiskey. This smells
right.
Like wine. I don't know what it
Dark booze
smells
notes.
like.
It's a melange.
Yeah.
There
is just like that kind of like alcohol tinge, but like it's sweet. I don't know.
It really gives me the sense of like human bodies. You know what I mean? It's like that, like a skin musk situation.
Yeah.
Getting the metallic scent from my bracelet, which is unacceptable. Yeah, so it's kind of like a quiet, like backroom scent, less partying, with the goat people in the woods, like in LUPERCI, and more like making out in the bathroom with 2 people. I don't know. It's the best I can do. Yeah, really, really nice.
Yeah.
So I guess it's great with the illustration is maybe seasoning my interpretation too.
Mm-hmm.
With these ladies like, smiling and smooching. So this is how you channel that fantasy is you put on the perfume and now it's like,
a little sassy shoulder.
A little sassy shoulder. Of a completely, the strap drops.
Does not go back up. Will not be fixed.
So next we're moving on to Cameo Chaperone. So immediately before Lupercalia was fully underway, I had gone and visited home, and my mom gave me a bunch of objects that belonged to my great-great-grandmother, and among them was this music box that I remember from my mom's bedside table when I was a little kid. You've got your Cameo lady kind of glued onto it, and inside There's a thimble and a marble, which apparently have belonged inside this music box for decades, but no one really knows why or, whose idea that was. And so the stuff that I brought back ended up playing a key role in what we were filming. And I talked to the perfumer about a perfume that would, fit with Lupercalia or maybe layer with LUPERCI that, was inspired by this music box because it just is so pretty. And also, this was a lovely little thing to show my mom, who, I always wonder when people in my family give me things if they feel like they're just like throwing it into a volcano, never going to be seen again, or maybe it will resurface in interesting ways, like being associated with frenzies of erotic madness in a gothic perfume video. So
It could happen.
The perfume that Elizabeth came up with is so gorgeous. Tulips scattered over silvery musk, ambrette seed, black orchid, and red benzoin. I'm always fascinated when I work with Beth, like collaboratively on like figuring out, inspiration for scents, but then she conceives of the scent completely and formulates it and basically makes it into a real thing, and then the results come back and it's just like I'm as surprised as anyone. I have no idea what to expect. What I really like, heady, somber floral.
Yes.
It reminds me so much of two things. One of them is the Dead Blonde perfume with that wilted corsage that has a kind of almost like a green aquatic floral, of wilt.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Snow White from Yule.
Oh.
In terms of the like the flowers, and there's just like the kind of like melty snow. There's the coldness of I guess of it, which is maybe where the silvery musk comes in, which is representing I think the metallic music box background. And then in terms of like tulips and orchid, in terms of like what kind of floral bouquet that is to smell, there really is just like a kind of a stately elegance, a kind of like a deepness and like a bit of like it's green,
Yeah.
And then for benzoin, that was something where I think I really needed it on the skin to figure out what was happening with that. So same with the musk, because like in the bottle, those florals are just kind of sitting right there waiting to leap out at you. There's almost something like minty about it, almost.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like there's like a kind of like a cool tang to it.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if that's the silver musk or.
Yeah, I can't tell if this is something going a little metallic, or I can't tell if it is related to the benzoin.
Yes, dear.
Yes, come on.
Would you like to come up?
Yeah, he wants to come up.
He even like sat down so I could grab him easier.
Yeah.
We've got a thing going.
To him, if we're just sitting here, just talking and basically ignoring him for like minutes at a time, it's like, wait a second, do I not exist?
Aren't I the cutest?
Aren't I the special pretty?
Last night I was cooking and he decided that was actually the time that I should be holding him and just like wandering around the apartment holding him like a baby.
Yeah.
Which he's like really into, which is great. It's our special thing.
I heard Galen in the kitchen though, and he's like, "Disco, I can't hold you and cook. I'm not a mom in the '60s."
Right. It's harder with the dog, I can't like really nestle him on my hip the same way.
No.
Balance.
And
Got cigarette. Stirring the pasta.
Are you stirring the pasta with the cigarette?
No, I'm trying not to.
Remember when we were smelling a perfume?
Right. It does remind me of Dead Blonde. There is like that watery floral to it, which is interesting. He's fascinated.
It's just it's extremely old-fashioned, extremely elegant. It really, there's like a kind of a sadness to it. It's what is it? Lana Del Rey's "Old Money," that song. Oh, there's a leaf. We've got a leaf blower. At least
like it smells like a classic fragrance, like something that you would like maybe like you open up like an old box of beloved trinkets and like that smell kind of comes out and you're like, oh yeah, memories.
Yeah, pressed flowers.
Yeah.
You know how they kind of rot a little when you press them?
I do.
It just changes the scent. There's just like a weird scent of something that like, its time has passed, but it still has beauty. So that's really nice. What I find so interesting about floral scents is how they can be joyful or sexy or sad. There's so many interpretations, and then Beth has like basically playing a pipe organ where she can like, add these additional keys that just kind of inflect it just so.
Yeah.
And now on the skin more, I'm getting more of that musk, and I have to say, like the dry down, it like really kind of like lets you down easy into a place where again it feels like you're gradually meeting a person. There's like a strange person, like a ghost to it. So, which I think is fitting because of like the whole idea is like the cameo on the top of the music box.
An otherworldly guardian.
A weird otherworldly guardian with a very stern facial expression. What's her story? Well, now you can smell it and find out. This brings us to our final of the 5 that we have to sniff at today. And it has the longest name, so we saved it for last. AMOR, to show that he was pleased approvingly in silence, sneezed. Gesundheit. And it's a poem. It's a beautiful little poem by Catullus. And the scent is vanilla cream and lemon sugar honey cakes dusted with candied flowers. I grabbed this one because Sam from Haute Macabre had really recommended it. This one caught her attention. And I thought, what's up with that? That was my sophisticated reaction. But I definitely needed to spend some time and sit with it. I was curious. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's get it going. Let's get it on, as the poet Catullus said. It's okay. So it's so funny to me because I almost get the sugared flowers before I get the lemon cake, but the cake is really just right there. Once you notice it, it's like, how did I not notice that there was a lemon cake?
I definitely noticed the cake. It's like, as I was bringing it up, like even from here, I was like, I smell cake. And then I'm like, yes, there is cake.
First impression is in my brain is comparing it to Pink Lovebird from Lupercalia a couple years back. It's got that like lovely soft, maybe cardamom infused cake situation going on, whatever it is, because that was like a confetti cake. And of course this has like a faint lemonness to it. I like a lemon cake that is like robustly lemon. I want it to have like a sour edge, maybe in the icing. That's my preference. But I really do appreciate how soft and mellow this is. Let's get it happening. I'm gonna sneeze. Yes, you can come up. I wish I could figure out which flowers I'm smelling. It's like something light. It's really weird to go from Cameo Chaperone to this, because that other one was these like, kind of almost deathy florals that were just kind of a big mood. And over here, it's just kind of like light and pretty flowers. Nothing I particularly recognize. The leaf blowers are getting louder. They're coming for us.
Just pretend it's like a Lynchian drone.
The season finale of 15 Minutes of Fume is when we just get blown off the couch by leaf blower home invasion.
Wow. That's interesting.
Galen's blood pressure
Just
immediately
like
spiked when
the
I
door
said
just
that.
like swings open and they're just like perfume bottles like everywhere,
Yeah.
and I'm like, ah,
Yeah.
no.
Pomeranian barking in the background.
This is so comforting.
It really is.
Hair issues. Okay.
There's like it has an old-fashioned quality to it. It reminds me, again, it's almost like a grandma's kitchen kind of situation where it's
Yeah.
just like a warm cake cooling.
Mm-hmm.
It has to cool before you put the icing on it so it doesn't all just run off. Grandma tells you as you impatiently beg for cake. And then the sugar and the flowers in the air just kind of like contribute to this like scene. It's like a proscenium of sweetness and light and good vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like, I want to curl up
You may.
in this cake and live there. Can I do that?
There's like a kind of okay.
I like this candy flower quality. Oh,
we should put some. I should candy some flowers for your next cake. There is a simplicity to this that makes me think it's going to layer well with all sorts of interesting things. I would actually, for example, think it would be great to smell this side by side with something like Smut. You know?
Whoa.
Yeah, to kind of like add some different dimension, or maybe like a little bit of the darkness of Womb Fury would also go great with this. Did I have a fuzz?
Just a dog hair.
A dog hair.
It's our new life.
15 minutes of dog hair. It's like, it's so funny because I would say it's comforting enough to where I would maybe wear it to sleep, but it's like a nap smell and not a nighttime smell because there's something kind of cheerful and bright about it that is much more
That's it.
Daytimey.
Yeah, I want to take a nap in it.
This
I don't
is
want
an
to sleep
11
for 8 hours in it.
It's an 11 a.m. scent. You're not doing it wrong if you wear it, at midnight to a masked ball.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, that's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed whenever the leaf blowers show up to play us off, but we can only control so many elements of our production. Well, we have a lot of Lupercalia perfumes left to get around to, like basically all of them. So I promise our life isn't all peanut butter treats and ear scratchies right now, and we do have our work cut out for us later in the week to start getting some of these reviews out. So we're taking the job seriously. As seriously as Disco takes his job of rummaging the couch cushions looking for the coziest position in which to sit.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have...
I knew I had a fuzz there. Like, I could feel it, and I would, like, tried to bat it away, and then it didn't happen.
If there are particulars from Lupercalia that you're afraid you will miss us talking about, you're welcome to shout them out in the comments, and we will read and do what we can, whether on camera or merely in the comments. We are your perfume sniffing... what is it? What am I thinking? Like a concierge? Sommelier? Like a leaf blower of scent, really. Just blowing it in your faces. So, don't say blowing it in your faces. I guess for Lupercalia it's appropriate. There are, like, literally scents about blowing it in people's faces. I don't know.
You're rambling.
Help!
Help!
Alright, and with that, we surrender, and we crawl back to our cave. We shall emerge soon. Have a good one.
You too, yeah.
You say you too?